Zero is not a number, but without it, no number really gets its value, isn't it? Zero is not really a number. Zero means ignorance. We understood that what we know is only this much. What we do not know is the possibility. What we know is not the possibility. What we do not know is the terrain we can cover, isn't it? So when I was 4, 5 years of age, I just realized I did not even know what is water. If somebody gave me a glass of water, I kept staring at it for 4 or 5 hours at a stretch. If I found a dry leaf, I was staring at it for many hours. If I sat up in my bed, I was just staring at the darkness for the whole night. My dear father, being a physician, started thinking, I need a psychiatric evaluation. This boy is simply staring at something all the time, unblinking, it looks like he's lost his mind. My problem is, I look at this and I've still not figured this out. I'm not able to shift my attention to anything else. If I look at something, I'm just looking at it, not able to shift my attention because I still don't know this, how do I go to something else? So in this condition, they also sent me to school. And my mother said, you must pay attention to the teacher. I went and paid attention to the teacher, the kind of attention they would have never received in their life. Initially, I sort of understood what they were trying to say. After some time, I realized that they're only making sounds. I'm making up the meanings in my mind. Even now it is so. Hello? If you did not know English language, if I speak, I'm only making sounds for you, isn't it? So when I realized it's me who is making up the meanings, I stopped making meanings. I just heard the sounds with full attention. Hour after hour, teacher after teacher, coming and making sounds and going, making sounds and going. It became very amusing. A big smile spread on my face. They were not amused at all. So this went on and I went through school with maximum value to my marks cards, always 0, 0, 0, 6 zeros I got always. How much is 60? Million, huh? Hello? See, I started with millions right from primary school. Only one was missing, I was the one. So, about 9 years ago, this school where I studied, almost 45 years ago or more, they came to invite me for their 125th anniversary. I said, see, please, why me? Oh, our school has produced union ministers, our school has produced cricketing stars, film stars, a variety of people, but you are the only mystic, so you have to come. I said, okay. So I went there, I stood up in the quadrangle to speak, looked around the same oppressive buildings. And I just looked at this classroom and suddenly remembered, I was 12 years of age. One afternoon, a teacher is trying to get response from me. He asked me a question and he wants me to respond. But by then I've graduated to a place, if I look at somebody, I don't even hear what they're talking. I know their past, present and future, but I don't know what even they're talking, I don't even hear them anymore. So I'm just looking at him. He asked me a question in so many different ways, but these are days, for many days I don't utter a word, because when you don't know anything, what do you speak? When you don't know anything, you must shut up, isn't it? So I didn't say anything. After 35, 40 minutes of trying to get an answer or response from me, he got so mad. He came and held me by the shoulder, shook me violently and said, you must either be the divine or the devil. I think you're the latter. I was not abused by this or insulted by this. Till now my problem was, what is this, what is that, what is that, what is that? I'm a cloud of billion questions all the time. But one thing was certain, that this is me. But suddenly this guy confused me about this also. I looked, what is this? Is this divine? Is this devil? What the hell is this? When I stared at myself, it didn't work, so I closed my eyes. There began my exploration into the intelligence of ignorance. Because the more you realize that I do not know, the more your intelligence is always super perked up. The moment you think, I know, it goes to sleep. Hello? If I put you in a pitch dark room, most probably none of you have ever been in a pitch dark room. When I say a pitch dark room, absolutely no light. You cannot even see you have a body. We do this for those who are on the yogic transformation. We put them into a pitch dark room where after some time they don't even feel their body simply because they're not seeing it. It takes visual reference to know it is there. For 3 days they did not see their body completely. Oh, only breath is there, body is not there. You must have rooms like this in your industry. You must put some people into pitch dark room. You will see after some time they won't have a body, just breath is going on and nothing else. It's a very good state to be So, I closed my eyes for long periods of time, hours, sometimes days, it went on like this. And I realized, if you do not make any conclusion, what you think is knowledge is just conclusions that you have made. Science is proving this to you. Every 2 years they're changing their opinion about everything. Obviously you made the wrong conclusion 2 years ago, isn't it? Even about what to eat What is the human diet? Every other creature on the planet has figured out what is the best diet for them, except the human beings This is because we have conclusions about everything. Everything that you see, you have to make a conclusion, otherwise you feel stupid. You have to have an opinion and an idea about everything. If you pay enough attention to an ant, you will understand the way it's constructed, you have no clue. It's one of the best machines you find on the planet. Do you agree with me? Have you ever paid attention to an ant? If you built a car which could move like an ant, as quietly, as mobile and as agile as it is, it would be fantastic, isn't it? But we don't pay attention because we have conclusions. If you want to open up anything, you need attention. The keenness of your attention will determine how many dimensions of life do you open up. If your attention is absolute, there is no door in the universe that you cannot open. This is how life is made. It is just that people are always busy accumulating conclusions. Accumulation is the way. With accumulation, you will be burdened. With attention, all doors will open. It happened, a man unloaded a big grandfather clock from the truck and he was carrying it into the museum, a very ancient piece, precious. So he carried it on his back with great difficulty he was going. A drunk who was passing by said, "Hey mister, what you need is a wristwatch." Well, if you're only interested in segmenting the day into 24 hours, a wristwatch will do it. But there may be other things to do with the day. There may be other things to do with time. There may be other things to do with life. But right now, I'm sorry if I insult you, I'm not sorry actually. I think right now the industry in India, especially the IT industry, is still in the survival mode, enjoying the benefits of inexpensive human resource. Human resource can be used two ways. just to provide jobs and make a living? Or if we use the upper part of the human being, not the hair, because people tell me there is about some 70 times more investment in hair products than neurosciences on the country, in the world rather. There is 70 times more business going on with hair products than neurosciences. So obviously we thought hair is more important than the head. This has to change, especially with this industry, because this is not about information. This is about exploring human intelligence. What are all the different possibilities? Information, when you use the word information, it amounts to accumulation, isn't it? As you're in the industry, many of you who've been there for 10, 20 years, you know information that you thought was very precious 10 years ago is trash today, yes or no? And as things go by, it won't take 10 years, within 6 months it'll be trash. So information is… machines can carry the information, human beings need not carry the information. Human beings are supposed to be in a condition where their intelligence is on full-time, not part-time, full-time on. If it has to be full-time on, you need to come to a place that, I do not know. This is not a philosophy, actually you do not know. You may be very successful, but you do not know. Do you really know? Have you figured out what is the nature of your life at least? Forget about anything else. The most intimate thing in your life is yourself, isn't it so? Hello? You're getting very serious, like my grandmother. But she passed away a long time ago, so I'm telling you, this is what happened to her. She got serious and then she passed. You getting serious? If you are conscious, it's not a philosophy, it's not a slogan, I do not know, I do not know, I know, I do not know. This is not it. It is an awareness of ignorance. When you're conscious of your ignorance, your intelligence is always standing up tall and alert. As I said, if I make this hall pitch dark and if I ask you to walk, everything that you have, is it fully alert? Whatever you have, hello? See, if you're testing me, who is the yogi here? Whatever I say. See, I can sit here for the next hour without moving my eyeballs. I have a huge practice. Don't compete with me on that one, huh? I'm asking a question. If I put you here and make this hall pitch dark and ask you to walk, will every sense and every damn thing that you have in you fully alert or no? The moment there is light, you assume you know, isn't it? You assume you know. The moment you assume you know, you don't see anything in your way, you simply walk. If you walk from here to there, I want to tell you, if you walk from that end to this end of the hall, the number of visual factors that are here, the number of smells that are here, the number of sounds that are here, from here to there are at least 500 things to notice, minimum. Most people don't notice 5 things. Yes, this is a fact. Most people do not know 5 things because they're blustered up with what they know. No, ignorance is a tremendous possibility. Ignorance is a problem when you're not conscious you're ignorant. Ignorance is a tremendous possibility when you know you're ignorant. Everything is up. Your intelligence being up every moment of your life is the most important thing. Because the only thing that set you apart from other creatures is your intelligence. You're not as strong as a tiger, are you? Huh? You're not as fast as a cheetah, you're not as resilient as an ant or a cockroach. It's just that little cerebral development happened. If you want to keep this on all the time, the fundamental is to see, I do not know. The more you pay attention to everything, the more you realize you don't know a damn thing in the universe. Isn't it so? And if you do not know, you will be fully alert, intelligence fully on. In that condition, many things will come out. What people think is a great research will come out in a moment just by paying attention to it. If you gather information and think you know, it will lead to repetitiveness, it'll lead to repetitiveness. In your industry, repetitiveness is death. It'll get you. It happened. There was a man in southern India whose name was Topiwala. This happened in 1910. Topiwala means… that's his second name, but that's also his profession. In the world, these traditions are there, that many people take their profession as their second name. There is a carpenter, there is a goldsmith, there is a dabbawala, there is a daruwala, there is all kinds. So this is a topiwala, that means a hat seller. He is going from village to village selling hats. One afternoon, he felt tired. He came and sat down in the tropical heat under a tree. Only in tropical heat you realize what it means to be under a tree. He came and sat down under a tree, he opened his meager lunch, ate it and dozed off. After some time he woke up, he looked, his whole stock of hats were gone. He got up, looked all over the place, no sign of hats. He looked here, there, everywhere, no sign of the hats at all. Everything that you can do, you will do. When you don't know what to do, what do you do? So he also looked up in prayer. There he saw a bunch of monkeys sitting there, hats on. Then he screamed at them, they screamed at him. He abused them in the filthiest language, they did it in their own language. Then he picked up whatever he could and threw it at them. And they picked up whatever they could and threw it back at him. Then out of sheer frustration, not knowing what to do, he took his hat and flung it on the ground. All the monkeys took their hats and flung it on the ground. He picked up his hats and went about his business. 2018, September 23rd, another topiwala also going around selling hats from village to village. He came in the afternoon, settled down under a tree, opened his elaborate lunch, 21st century. Everybody's eating more than what they can digest. And he ate his meal and promptly fell asleep. When he woke up, all his hats were gone. He did not look here and there, he looked straight up, knowledge, All the monkeys were sitting there with their hats on. He got up and jived. All the monkeys jived. He made funny faces, they made funnier faces at him. He had all the fun he wanted to have. When he was done, he took his hat and flung it on the ground. A baboon of a monkey quickly came down the tree, picked up the hat, walked up to him and gave him a tight slap in the face and said, "You idiot, you think only you had a grandfather?" See, there is scientific evidence that monkeys are evolving. There is no such evidence about So you are in a business where your investment is not information, your investment is an agile intelligence. If you want to have an agile intelligence every moment of your life, to come to a very profound state of ignorance. See, actually address this and see. People ask me, Sadhguru, how do you become a mystic? I say, when you realize you don't know a damn thing, then you become a mystic. No, I also know I don't know some things. Ah, that's the problem. You know some things and you do not know some things. That is a serious problem. If you know everything, it would be fantastic maybe, but I haven't seen anybody like that. But if you know nothing, then your mind becomes like a plain mirror. No any kind of distortions, it's just a plain mirror. Plain mirror shows everything just the way it is, isn't it? Information means, taking that analogy further, suppose the mirror at home, the mirror at your home had memory. You know, I don't know if you guys have done this to your mirrors, IT industry. If your mirror had memory, when you go and stand in front of it, it will show you everything but reality, isn't it? Huh? Even if there was a minute residual memory, you wouldn't see what is there to see. You would see something else. That's what is happening to your mind. Too much information leads to this. Information means, information is there in the body. This body carries much more information than your brain can ever carry. Do you remember 10 generations ago how your grandfather, grandmother looked like? I'm asking you. No. But your body remembers because their nose is sitting on your face right now. Your grandfather's nose is sitting on your face or not? Well, 1,000,000 years ago, how your forefathers were, even the skin tone your body remembers, isn't it? Never confused. So obviously there is enormous information here. You don't have to carry it in your head. Your head must be ignorant, always, super ignorant, absolutely ignorant. In ignorance, it is alert. In ignorance, it's plain. In plain mirror, you see everything just the way it is. If you want to walk through this world successfully, if you want to see everything the way it is, because if you want to conduct anything sensibly, first and foremost thing is, you see everything just the way it is, not the way you think. If you do not see everything the way it is, you will always do something inappropriate to the given situation. If you see things the way they are, you will do the right thing. Almost everybody has the needed intelligence to do the right thing if they see what is there. But everybody sees it in their own way, according to the information that they carry. So technology industry, I think India has come to a place where initially our only concern was to walk people out of their poverty and impoverished nature of the society. Well, we're reasonably successful in the last 25 years, pretty successful, I would say. Though there's a whole negative commentary going on, I would say, just look back and see how you were 25 years ago and how you are today. We're largely successful in that. But now a time has come, at least a segment of you, both in terms of your brains, your time and your money as companies, have to invest in something that does not produce results tomorrow morning, but has a long-term implication. Well, you may… in the industry you may call it R&D. I'm saying, for me, you have to invest in ignorance. all that you do not know. Right now, investment is only in things that we know, making products out of it, selling it today, making money and thinking we are great. It's fine, nothing wrong with it, but you have to invest in ignorance. Things that we do not know, we have to invest in that. If you do not have the courage to invest in ignorance, then, we could be very easily outdated in no time because information becomes outdated very quickly these days. If you have questions, any kind of question, please. Please take the microphones.
Folks, if you raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you for you to be able to ask a question. We'll get the mic to you there, sir.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru, Anand from Singapore. My question, Sadhguru, is how do you measure ignorance?
How do you?
Measure ignorance.
Oh, how do you measure a zero? Just like that. See, our knowledge, whatever we know, even if you have read the libraries on this planet, still what we know is just a minuscule in the existence, isn't it? But ignorance is always boundless. Do you think there is a boundary to your ignorance? Hello? It's a fantastic way to be. You're completely boundless in your ignorance. Your knowledge is always with small boundaries, but your ignorance is boundless. If you do not, instead of measuring the boundless, if you dissolve into the boundless, you will become a yogi, huh? Please.
Sadhguru.
Who is speaking, please?
Sadhguru here. People would see what they're missing.
If you can
mostly.
hold the microphone a little closer,
Sorry.
yeah.
People generally would see whatever they're missing in their life in you. Like they might see a friend or they might see a parent or a teacher. Now, I see a happy manager. You manage a lot of…
I'm not getting this properly. The
Hello?
Yeah.
Is this… okay. Like people see whatever they miss in life in you. Like it could be a friend, a mentor, a teacher or such. I see a happy manager. You manage a lot of activities across the globe.
You're talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh,
And also at the same time, you have time for discourses and all. And still you're happy. In the sense that you manage a lot of people and you still are happy. Now what is the secret to that?
oh. The difference is either you can be in pursuit of happiness or your life can be an expression of your joy. That's the choice you have. If you're in pursuit of your happiness, well, you're always kicking the can and running behind it. See, when you were a child, when you were 5 years of age, you were joyful by your own nature, isn't it so? Hello? At that time, somebody had to make you unhappy. But now somebody has to make you happy. What happened to you? When you're 5 years of age, if you're that joyful, by the time you're 30, you should have become ecstatic, isn't it? I'm saying if there was growth in your company. No, when you were 5, you were very joyful by your own nature. But today, if you have to be happy, how many things we have to fix in the world? Your husband should be like that, your wife should be like that, and your child should be like that, your company should be like this, your bank balance should be like this. and the world must change before you are happy. So, you have put yourself into a self-defeating situation. There is no way the world will ever happen 100% the way you want it. Yes or no? If you're just two people in the family, does the other person 100% the way you want them? I'm asking you. Even if you get a dog, it doesn't happen. These days they do their own thing. So, somebody else will never happen the way you want 100%. Somebody else doesn't happen, the world doesn't happen, this is not the problem. The question is just this, are you happening the way you want yourself to be? If you happen just the way you want yourself to be, would you keep yourself blissful or miserable? You must choose, I'm going to bless you right now. If you happen just the way you want to be, would you keep yourself miserable or blissful? Blissful. Others didn't choose, I'm blessing you. So, human experience fundamentally, essentially is happening from within you. Pain and pleasure happens from within you. Joy and misery happens from within you. Agony and ecstasy happens from within you. Everything that you ever experienced happened from within you, isn't it? Well, the world didn't happen your way, that's not the problem. But at least what's happening from within you must happen your way, otherwise you lost your fundamental stock. Yes or no? See, he's not happening my way, that's not the problem. If I'm not happening my way, I'm a lost case. Yes or no? This is because we gave you a super computer. This is the most sophisticated machine on the planet. Do you agree with me, the human mechanism? Huh? But did you read the user's manual? Huh? Have you? No? Simply, accidentally you're handling it? When you handle things accidentally, being anxious is natural. Once you get anxious, when things go wrong, becoming fearful is natural. When things go very wrong, you'll be terrorized, that is natural. So, about management, yes, there are mega projects which you are managing, a whole big institution run by volunteers. When I say run by volunteers, 9 million part-time volunteers and over 4,000 full-time volunteers. Managing volunteers means none of them are qualified for the job. And you can't fire them for inefficiency because they're volunteers. You do this in your company, in 3 days you'll go nuts, believe me. Yes, nobody is qualified for the job and you have to get everything done properly and you can't fire them. But you come and see our events and our situations, they're run in such a good way that Raman came and saw how we run the place and that's why he has me here. If I was a lousy manager, he wouldn't bring me here. So, this is happening, you must understand. The significant aspect of being human is not just your physical capabilities or your intellectual circus that you do. The significant aspect of being human is, we can do everything consciously. No other creature can do this, isn't it? Hello? The only significant thing about us is, whatever every creature does, we also do the same thing, but we can do it consciously. Because we can do it consciously, it must happen the way we want it, isn't it? If not the outside, at least the inside. If you conducted your life consciously, definitely you would keep it the way you want. If you keep it the way you want, for yourself, I'm saying, would you want pleasantness or unpleasantness? You must choose, I'm going to bless you. Pleasantness. You may call it success, you may call it heaven, you may call it meditation, you may call it prayer, you may call it money, you call it what you want. Essentially, you're looking for pleasantness, isn't it? Pleasantness of experience. In body, mind, energy, emotion and surroundings, you want pleasantness. This is what you want for yourself. What you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is very clear. Something so simple is not happening. Why? This is all it is. See, when you just sit alone, you must experiment with this, young man. 3 days, just close doors and simply sit alone. No reading, no texting, no internet browsing, no television watching, no book reading, nothing. Simply stay alert and simply sit. You will see, you will go quite crazy. All this so-called being busy is keeping you masked. You simply sit by yourself, people go into all kinds of misery. See, if you're miserable when you're alone, you're obviously in bad company, isn't it? Hello? You need to fix that.
Guruji,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we do not
I have just 1.5 minutes to die because he said
time.
9:55 is dead stop. I would rather stop than being dead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the curtain raiser to WCIT NASSCOM 2018, the intelligence of ignorance. Sadhguru, thank you very, very much. Can we play the next video?
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the seriousness of knowledge versus the blissful possibilities of ignorance. Investment not in information, but in agile intelligence. In ignorance, there is alertness. Invest in ignorance and invoke the intelligence. What a brilliant start to the day, ladies and gentlemen. Can we put our hands together once again for the first session of the day? Simply awe-inspiring and just the perfect way to start WCIT NILF. We will now move to the inaugural session. Let me tell you all again, it's that time of the year when the Global Thought Leadership meet at the NASSCOM India Leadership Forum. This year moves to Hyderabad. Alongside, we have the WCIT for the very first time, and this is considered the Olympics of global ICT events. And we're here together in Hyderabad. So on behalf of the government of Telangana and NASSCOM, we welcome them. Let's have a huge round of applause for our partners this year, WCIT. Quick reminder once again, if you can have all your phones on silent so we can proceed. Let's kick off this special edition of WCIT NILF 2018 with the inaugural session. We have a power-packed inaugural, and I have the honor of welcoming on stage yet again Mr. Raman Roy, Chairman NASSCOM, to deliver the address on behalf of NASSCOM. Raman, stage is all yours yet again.
Good morning again, folks. And post the ignored curtain riser to the WCIT NASSCOM ILF 2018. This NILF now is our 26th edition. We look at what the future holds for us as businesses, as business leaders. Sadhguru brought it out. We factor in what we know about the present, articulating the opportunities that lie ahead, but not shying away from the caveats. This time, for the first time ever, we run this event alongside WCIT. The outreach that is nothing short of Olympian in its scope. It has now come to disrupting the core, but have we done with the periphery yet? To my mind, the digital adoption that we have said repeatedly is not going to be uniform. There will be laggards, the digital laggards, there will be followers who may still be experimenting with enhancing customer experience and other front-end functions, which is their only understanding of what digital is. But the attackers and leaders are on their way to digitizing the core. And that is what we will explore as we amplify digital over the next 3 days. Increasingly, companies are recruiting chief digital officers. These are not guys who will focus on tactical aspects of what is running in the company, but they are advising the CEOs on a comprehensive digital strategy, not just the piecemeal approach that there is. The response times in the marketplace are becoming incredibly fast, coupled with the enhanced experience that the end customer is looking for. This is possible only with total synergy, and thus the pressing need for the core functions to adapt to and adopt digital. So let me go down to a little story, which I'm sure all of you have heard about the false nuclear alert out of Hawaii recently. All that happened is that the operator chose the wrong option in a drop-down menu and sent the entire town running for cover, fearing that there was an imminent missile attack. This incident may be an outlier, but the importance of how we construct, the importance of design is brought forth by this, because you need to be able to segregate the reality with the possibilities. A faulty design can have disastrous consequences. That's why we say, for design, come to India. Data is the new oil. Something that you've heard many times over. But every time I hear that, the question that bothers me is, are we producing enough professionals who have the expertise in data science, particularly in mathematical modeling? Think back to what we created this wonderful industry on. We motivated our youth, our young, our kids to go into engineering. How do we ensure that for the future, the students get attracted to pure mathematics, statistics, and allied disciplines in equal measure? Because these are the futuristic minds who will explore what this data that is the new oil is and what can be done. How can we instill that love for mathematics, which makes it almost cult-like? Do we do exactly the same things that we did to produce engineers? Or is there something radically different that is required for the next generation? Otherwise, we will have data as an oil, but our ability to exploit that will be extremely limited. To my mind, we need a sandbox kind of approach. Sandbox that will keep up with the frenetic pace. We need to learn how to fail quickly, unlearn, and around that adapt to new ways. But for that, we need to celebrate failure as well. That is one area we as a nation, I think, have the greatest distance to cover. Are we doing enough to change the mindsets? Are we doing enough to not only accept but celebrate failure? Finally, distill reality from myth. to know that we work for India, the advanced technologies in particular, and two, to be mindful of the fake news today that is rampantly doing the rouse. The source credentials matter. With that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WCIT NASSCOM ILF 2018. I hope you have a wonderful 3 days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raman, as always, for setting the tone and tenor for what we have coming up at the core of Amplify Digital. I would now like to invite Ms. Yvonne Chu, Chairman, WITSA, to deliver the welcome address on behalf of WITSA. Would like to invite you up on stage to join us.
Good morning. Good morning. Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of WITSA, World Information Technology and Service Alliance, it's my honor to welcome you to the 22nd World Congress on IT. Thank you for coming. I would especially like to thank WITSA's member in India, NASSCOM, as well as the state of Telangana and the city of Hyderabad for hosting this important Congress. As you know, information and communication technology impact nearly aspect of human life. Communication, education, manufacturing, healthcare, transportation, urban development, and resource management are just a few key sectors, transformed by the incredible innovation brought to us by ICT. There is much more to come. In order to continue the association and beneficial growth of ICT, a number of key factors need to be in place. An impartial regulatory environment, public-private partnership that promote entrepreneurship and innovation, reliable, affordable infrastructure for everyone, a principled approach to privacy, security, and data protection, which instill trust and confidence in the fundamental building block of the digital age. Transparent access to a new existing technology, a free flow of data and talent across borders, as well as skilled domestic workforce. There are, however, complex challenges in each one of those factors. Many nations struggle with resource allocation based on the real time. Pressing society need to embracing ICT development may not be perceived as one of them. However, we know it is prevent that those countries that do make the decision commit to ICT development benefit greatly from their decisions. Our goal through the Congress is expanding the use of ICT, continuing the global dialogue, connecting all the major stakeholders involved in the evolution of the digital age. Once again, on behalf of WITSA's welcome, I wish you a good health and prosperity. Hope you enjoy Congress and you stay in beautiful city of Hyderabad. India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yvonne. The need of the hour and the way forward, that's what you heard. I'm as excited as all of you are to go beyond and over what the topic really means and what's so special about WCIT NILF 2018. Who better than the NILF Chair and CEO of Tech Mahindra to have us listen to what's in store. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for CP. CP, can we have you join us on stage? Stage is all yours, and we are all yours.
You know, walking in this morning, one is at 8:55 a.m. to find the hall chock-a-block full and extra chairs being brought in clearly showed that the decision taken by Telangana government and the NASSCOM Executive Council to host the 26th NILF and the WCIT 22nd conference is more than a correct decision. Do you all agree? I can only say that, you know, as a chairman of NASSCOM the previous year, when this subject was discussed, that how do we organize this conference in Hyderabad, I think it was one of those occasions where the support or the encouragement that the NASSCOM Executive Council got from the Honorable IT Minister of Telangana, Mr. K.T. Rama Rao, and the IT Secretary, Mr. Jayesh Ranjan, it just became like a breeze, like a walk in the park. So guys, give a big hand to K.T. Rama Rao and Jayesh Ranjan. I know a conference like this requires a huge effort. NILF, which has been the flagship, and organized forever in Mumbai, people were getting used to it. People were getting into that, what the Sadhguru called it as repetitive motions. And I'm so glad that even before Sadhguru came in here, we knew how to disrupt ourselves. So we disrupted. And what we have in front of you is the most relevant topic of today, that either we accelerate digital, either we amplify digital, or we have the guts to disrupt our core or become history. None of us wants to become history. Neither in IT industry, neither in corporate life, nor in the public sector life, nor in social services. Because this conference is not only about IT. This conference is about a convergence. And that's what you will see during the day. It is a lot more on technology, but a lot of it is also on, I don't know. Now this is where technology fails me. Okay, I got it. So to help us amplify the message, to help us, make this conference exciting, make this conference interactive, make this conference a conference which is really unconferenced. We have a galaxy of speakers. These speakers are from India, they are from various countries, and all of them have got together to actually help us disrupt the core. So what on these, you've already had a chance to interact with Sadhguru on the welcome address. We will soon be, talking to the Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable IT Minister, and on behalf of the Honorable Chief Minister, we will have the Honorable IT Minister of Telangana share their perspectives on what are the opportunities in the new digital world, in the new connected world, in the world where all solutions are connected, and how all of us are going to amplify the digital. I mean, I know there is a very pleasant face out here. Somebody said Padmavat, somebody said Padmavati. Anyway, she's Deepika Padukone, right? I mean, she is also joining us on the last day. And if you guys want to know why on the last day, I mean, maybe then you shouldn't ask me that question. So anyway, so we have the sons of our own soil, I mean, Shantanu Narayan, I mean, who is the CEO of Adobe. There are a lot of people that you would love to meet. There are a lot of these faces that you would like to have selfie with, and I'm sure that they will encourage you to have selfies, and I just hope that you guys have fun, and I hope not only do you take the selfies, but share it with others also. What we have done is that to make this conference more relevant to what is top of our minds today, top of our minds for future, we have a lot of forums that we have created. These forums, you would see it in your programs, but many of them would only become successful when you participate in them. And all these forums, whether they are on AI, whether they are on intelligent automation, whether they are your interactions with Sophie. I mean, I know you guys were getting carried away with Padmavati, so I thought, I mean, I should bring in a humanoid also. So we do have Sophie also to interact with, and she would also participate in some of these forums. So guys, my request is please do participate in these focused forums. They've been curated first time and only for this conference. Similarly, what is unique, and in a lot of ways, I must thank the facilities that were available here, because Hyderabad and particularly this convention center has allowed us to bring 160 startups, first time in the history of NASSCOM, 160 startups which showcase their solution. And to make sure that your interest, one is, I mean, if you can absorb all the 160 startups, you can mentor a few, you can encourage a few, or you can understand what they have to offer, it is great. But to make it more interesting, every day there are 20 new startups joining in. So every day is a new day, every day is a new program. So guys, just make sure that you go down to the next hall, the hall number 4, 5, and 6, and encourage these startups, encourage people who are showcasing and who are exhibiting for you. We also, as I said, this conference is not only about IT. We are also going to give some global leadership awards. Some of the awards will be tonight. Tonight's conference and the unconferencing after the conference is happening right here. Tomorrow, the Telangana government is hosting us at a beautiful palace called Chomala Palace. And the third day, on the final day, on the valedictory time, we would also recognize innovation in community services. So we call them Social Innovation Awards, but those award ceremonies will be split between 19th and 21st. I hope you are able to encourage the people. I don't know why my photo is there, but it was supposed to be K.T. Ramarao and Jayesh Ranjan's, Jayesh is there, K.T. Ramarao's photo, but I just wanted to acknowledge Suman Reddy from Pega Systems, who has been our host in Hyderabad, Keshav Murugesh, who looked after the complete outreach and the marketing program. I mean, there are a lot of people out here. Jim, you're going to meet in a very short while. And, you know, like in every conference, you can only do as well when you have the moolah. The moolah committee, which is the sponsorship committee, was headed by my friend Rekha. And the good news is that in the history of NASSCOM, The number of sponsors has been the highest. So thank you, Rekha, thank you, Hyderabad, and thank you all the sponsors. And I hope you will have fun, you will learn, you will unlearn, you will conference, you will unconference, but we will all live and enjoy these 3 days together. And to make it even more interesting, I have a request. Please tweet. As they say, dil khol ke tweet karo. And the people who make the best tweets, most relevant tweets, or which get the maximum retweets, those people will be recognized on the day 3. It's a open challenge, open competition. The jury is Debjani Ghosh and Jayesh Ranjan. Guys, these 2 guys will decide who gets the most effective tweet award. So please, guys, make this conference well known and let the people who have not attended the conference be jealous of you because you are here. So thank you all and thank you for being here.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Speakers, sessions, insights, and all this and more over the next 3 days. If you have imbibed it, the digital disruptors and consuming AI are the central themes for today, and the sessions are centered around this. Thank you so much, CP, for that segment, and I'm actually going to invite you back on stage because the next segment we have is a slightly informal tete-a-tete, because we decided to play around with the format this year, and we said, let's have 4 of these people up on stage with us as we interact with them and find out what's at the core of what's going to happen with Amplified Digital and Disrupting the Core. So joining us with CP, we have Mr. Raman Roy, Chairman NASSCOM, Mr. Rishad Premji, Vice Chairman NASSCOM, and Mr. Raj Chandrasekhar, President NASSCOM. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this. CP is going to be chairing this segment.
Well, good morning once again. This will probably be the shortest panel you've ever seen. But hopefully, in these next few minutes, we'll get a few more perspectives on the focus of this event from the people on the panel. So let me just, without further ado, jump into the question to Rishad first. Rishad, as many of you would know, is the Chief Strategy Officer of Wipro. Rishad, we've heard from CP and we earlier heard Raman's welcome address. The theme of this event is Amplify Digital, Disrupt the Core. For many years, WCIT has the broader theme of fulfilling the promise of the digital age, unleashing the whole the full benefits that digital can bring. In that context, what does the term digital, amplify digital and disrupt the core, what does this phrase connote to you and what does it mean?
RC, I'll say the first thing is it's a big word and it's oftentimes overused, but I'll say a couple of things. One is, if you look over the last couple of years, a few things have happened. One is the world has become much more data rich and data more and more is getting more and more organized. The second is that we're truly into a mobile-first and a cloud-first world. And I think for that, to me, that is the essence of just the change that's happening digitally in the world. And organizations are fundamentally being forced to sort of rethink their processes, both from how they serve customers as well as employees in driving and facing this new world. I think over the last couple of years, what's happened is people have been in a phase of digital discovery, prototyping, experimentation. And I think we're right now at a point where this is going to explode and it is going to be digital at scale. So for me, the amplified digital is sort of talking about being at the cusp of this big change and what can organizations do with it. And I think as a consequence of which the expectations from partners is also going to change dramatically. Organizations are going to have to certainly upskill and reskill talent. Organizations are going to have to participate much, much more closely with partners in the ecosystem to bring the best of breed solutions to help customers on this journey. So,
you've heard the perspective that Rishad has, and I'm sure in the course of the next 3 days, you'll find that there are many different perspectives which will come together at this event. Raman Roy, who is the chairman of NASSCOM, also, many of you would know, is very popularly called the father of the BPM industry in India. From that perspective, Raman, what is your take on amplified digital disrupt the core? How does it relate to this broader message of fulfilling the promise of digital?
Yeah, I'd like to build on what Rishad said. I think as an industry globally, we are at the periphery. Yeah, it is digital, but we are getting bogged down by saying just the customer experience, just this aspect. I'll take 20 seconds to give you a story. I went to this professor who's in big data, a guru of the big data, and asked him, so what does big data mean? Everybody says everything. Explain that to me. And he gave me this example of a customer in Target who went to Target manager and said, why are you sending me mailers on a birth of a kid? There is no birth at home. And the manager apologized. 1 month later, the guy was back, said, sorry, I didn't know that my daughter was pregnant. And the manager said, well, you know, we map out to what you buy because there is a pattern to what people buy when they are pregnant. So I told the professor, oh, so you mean that is big data, being able to build that association? He said, no, Raman, that is where you know that there is an association. That is not big data. Big data is where you do not know there exists an association, and with terabytes of data, you are able to build out that association. So that is the core as we have the part of the conference. We have yet to unravel the core. We are perhaps not imagining what that core could be, and that is where I think the industry is going. That is where I think we as an industry will lead into some part of that core.
I think I detect shades of what Sadhguru was saying a little earlier in what you said. But let me turn to CP. CP, you are the man behind this conference. You are the chairman of the organizing committee. So as the whole conference structure was unfolding, what did this amplify digital, disrupt the core mean in terms of realizing the whole promise of digital?
Only when RC asked me a question after I gave a 15-minute presentation, I get worried. I get worried whether RC is listening. So anyway, guys, I mean, to me, and as I told you, it was not only me, it was a fairly powerful organizing committee. All of us looked at some of the opportunities of creating new jobs, opportunities of creating new industries, opportunities for creating new startups. I tabled a Tech Mahindra study where we had taken 17 industry verticals, including government, on what an opportunity it is to create a new leapfrog in your strategies of connecting to your consumer, connecting to your new markets, or expanding the markets. Ultimately, whatever industry we are in, whether we call it healthcare or whether we call it e-governance, there is always a customer at the end of it. And if we can use digital to continuously enhance that experience, I think it is working, and it will help in creating jobs, transparency, and creating a better social ecosystem. I think that was what was in our mind as an organizing committee.
Great, thanks a lot. So as you heard, you already heard from three panelists, three perspectives on what this theme means. And as the 3 days unfolds, I'm sure each of you will find your own perspective depending on where you are, where you've come from, and what you're looking for. So all the best, and hope you get the best out of this conference. I promised you this would be a short panel, and now we'll go on to some of the key speakers that we have in this inaugural session. So thank you very much to the panelists for sharing your thoughts. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. You heard it from the people who made it happen themselves. The insights and the thought process behind putting together the agenda and this conference. We have next with us somebody who's going to join us on stage, who is a guest here, who we put our hands together some time ago. Like I told you, this is the first time NILF has moved to Hyderabad, and it is in partnership with these guys. Let them clear up the stage, and we'll invite up on stage our next speaker very quickly. This segment of NILF, in association with WCIT, for the very first time, the Olympics of the global ICT events, ladies and gentlemen. And to join us on stage for his opening address, we have Jim Poisson joining us on stage. Please put your hands together for Jim. Jim, stage is all yours.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to add my welcome to this WCIT's 22nd World Congress on ICT in cooperation and hosted with our partner NASSCOM. For those of you who may not be familiar with WCIT, WCIT is a consortium of leading ICT associations in over 80 countries. We represent over 90% of the ICT industry. When we look at World Congresses, we have a major theme, not only this overriding theme, meaning the fulfilling the promise of the digital age, it's also WCIT's vision. So as an industry voice globally, our role is to work with our host and drive a continual theme as we move year to year to year. So we're gathered here in beautiful Hyderabad for the next 3 days to discuss the impact, challenges, and opportunities of fulfilling the promise of the digital age. When we say fulfilling the promise of the digital age, what we're really referring to is this great promise that we have out there that someday every person on earth can benefit from ICT. There's never, ever been an opportunity in history for anything to have an impact as ICT. So as the delegates to this Congress consist of major as well as small and medium-sized ICT providers, also senior government officials, national and multinational users of ICT, globally recognized institutions, academics, students, entrepreneurs, healthcare providers, media from around the world, as well as all other stakeholders that are playing a key role and have an interest in increasing the use of ICT. Ladies and gentlemen, this Congress has been designed to include many of the key components that make up the digital age. All of these components play a key role in the unfolding, marvelous revolution that we're now witnessing. So we will, as a WCIT organization, examine, review on all the components and the content from this Congress. We'll understand that their benefits. We will repackage these messages coming out of this wonderful event. We will then take that material as we have in the past, and we will forward this information on as we move from country to country. I'm pleased to announce to you that WCIT has been around about 40 years this year. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary. We are going to move this event from Hyderabad to Armenia in 2019, over to Malaysia in 2020, and in Bangladesh to 2021. So we're sold out until 2021. But please be aware that in addition to all that is discussed in this event, our goal as WCIT is to compile this information, bring it forward, allow more people around the globe to learn from all of our experiences. It is our sincere hope that through this important event, all of us, through our individual and collective efforts, contribute to the expanded global use of ICT for everyone. On behalf of WCIT, I wish to once again especially thank NASSCOM, the state of Telangana, the city of Hyderabad, the WCIT 218 sponsors for their generosity and support. I sincerely hope you enjoy this event, and thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Poysa, Secretary General WITSA, on painting the landscape of the scale and reach of this event. So you're part of something truly stellar and truly historical. Without further ado, now I'm going to invite up on stage. Please put your hands together for Mr. K.T. Ramarao, Honorable Minister for IT, Industries, Municipal Administration and Urban Development, Government of Telangana. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. To the team of NASSCOM headed by the chairman, Mr. Raman Roy, to WCIT, to WITSA, to the honorable dignitaries and other distinguished guests attending the World Congress IT, which is happening for the first time in India. We are delighted as the host state and host city of Telangana and Hyderabad to welcome you all to this wonderful event. It is with great pride that I welcome you all. WCIT, as I have mentioned, is being organized for the first time in the 40 years since its inception in India. And I'm delighted that this city of Hyderabad, which is considered one of the most advanced technology destinations in India, is hosting all of you. As you're all aware, Hyderabad occupies an eminent space in the global information technology landscape. Hyderabad's growth in IT industry, IT in fact, has begun close to 2 decades ago with high-tech city, and since then it has grown by leaps and bounds to become the second largest IT exporter in India. This sector currently employs close to 500,000 people directly, but this is only the starting point. Since the formation of the state of Telangana 3.5 years ago, we have been striving hard to achieve progress in every sphere of economic activity, and information technology has been and will be one of our topmost priorities. With its ideal location in the country, favorable climate, presence of some of the best educational institutions in our country, and a friendly policy regime, we've been able to attract some of the best technology firms from across the globe, such as Google, Microsoft, Apple, Salesforce, Uber, Amazon, Facebook, and many more. I'm confident we will continue to bring in the best of the breed in the coming years too. Information technology has a great potential to impact lives once it is taken to the deeper roots of the society. In fact, our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, never fails to remind us that technology which does not have social impact, technology which does not help the vulnerable, technology that does not come to the rescue of the common man is futile. Therefore, all of our initiatives in our state are centered around this theme. One of the ways in which we are driving penetration of IT services in the state is through our flagship program called as T-Fiber. You may be aware of the Digital India campaign, through which the government of India is bringing more and more citizens online and empowering them to use digital services. We can think of this as India's campaign to bring the next billion users online. T-Fiber is Telangana's effort to move in this direction very swiftly. Through this program, we aim to provide each and every household in Telangana, the 10 million homes in Telangana, with an optical fiber cable endpoint, and use this state-of-the-art infrastructure to deliver government to citizen and government to government services very effectively. In the areas of e-governance, education, healthcare, etc., by tagging along with the prestigious Mission Bhagirath or the Telangana Drinking Water Project. Through T-Fiber, we'll be laying more than 100,000 kilometers of PLB HDPE duct to connect more than 8,778 villages and 4.7 million rural households. With broadband speeds up to 100 Mbps to households and 1 Gbps to institutions, T-Fiber will also allow private operators to ride on the installed infrastructure to provide triple play services to households. I'd like to invite you all to experience the delivery of services through T-Fiber at WCIT, which would be launched shortly. The technology demonstration network that we would be launching to showcase the next generation delivery of government to government and government to citizen services is a path-breaking idea in our country today. Our friends and partners from the industry have come forward to build this pilot network with no expectations of profit, which is the first of its kind in the telecom industry. The technology demonstration network is currently established in 4 villages within the Maheshwaram Mandal, including Mansanpalli, Tumalur, Sirigiripuram and Maheshwaram villages, with speeds up to 1 Gbps per household. Services such as e-panchayat, telemedicine, e-education, video conferencing, G2C services such as Me Seva, IPTV, IP phone will be demonstrated. TDN will be available for at least 1 year to welcome industry and government players to develop services and technologies which will benefit the people of Telangana and by extension the people of India. Some of our marquee initiatives such as T-Hub, India's largest technology incubator, will also help us ride the next wave of latest technologies. Of late, emerging technologies, startups, and innovation have been the buzzwords across the world. Not wanting to take a back seat in this journey, Telangana government has invested in creating T-Hub, which I have mentioned is India's largest technology incubator. With a 70,000 square foot of facility, it currently houses more than 200 startups. The second phase of T-Hub is expected to be the largest in the world, with over 350,000 square foot of built-up space at the heart of the city. Another priority of the government of Telangana is to attract information technology companies to Tier 2 towns and beyond. With our rural technology policy that details our vision and incentives for organizations and enterprises looking to set up operations beyond the Tier 2 towns, we have detailed strategic plans toward this direction. In fact, due to our efforts along this direction, some marquee names such as Eclat, Scient have started operations in Tier 2 towns like Karimnagar, Warangal and beyond. We have sanctioned IT infrastructure spaces, IT towers, in 5 different Tier 2 towns in Telangana to ensure quality infrastructure for companies willing to look beyond Hyderabad is also provided by the government. One suggestion I would like to make is to all of you who are attending the WCIT is to look at Tier 2 areas and beyond for application development in local languages as well. While the world has 7.3 billion people, more than 5.8 billion people do not speak English. So therefore, to focus on these native speakers, these vernacular speakers, would make a lot of business sense as well. India, as a country, comprises of a diverse set of population, with 22 official languages and with more than 80 million people speaking Telugu, which is the local language of Telangana, out of which, again, 60 to 70% of our population not speaking English. There is itself a large market waiting to be tapped as all of them go digital. All of the initiatives of the government I represent, the government of Telangana, I've outlined so far, have been conceptualized in a systematic manner after consultation with numerous external stakeholders in the form of concrete policies. We have an overarching ICT policy framework and a set of 10 sectoral policies which outline our vision towards sectors such as rural technology, innovation, data centers, open data, e-waste management, etc. Before concluding, I would like to reiterate that ours is the most business-friendly state, rated number 1 on the Ease of Doing Business Index by Government of India, which is evident through our policies and through some of our recent success stories. And I'd like to welcome you all with open arms to invest in the state of Telangana for mutually beneficial long-term partnerships. Lastly, but most importantly, I hope you all enjoy your stay in Hyderabad and find some time to experience the numerous attractions and the Nizami hospitality that this city is famously known for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for the articulate and insightful address and walking us through all of the programs that the government is running and for hosting all of us in this beautiful city of Hyderabad. Now, without further ado, I'm going to invite up on stage Honorable Union Minister of Law and Justice and Electronics and Information Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad joining us on stage for his address.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you in this extraordinary conference of WCIT being held in India. I was deeply impressed to learn that it has one of the highest attendance ever in WCIT meet. Greetings to all of you. In fact, in many ways, this reflects the emerging digital power of India. Very briefly, I would like to outline India's digital story is different. It's scripted for the needs of India, finding resonance globally. By programs like Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, we are seeking to empower ordinary Indians with the power of technology. And that technology, which is affordable, which is inclusive, and which is developmental. Ladies and gentlemen, what is the digital profile of India? A population of 1.3 billion plus has only 1.21 billion mobile phones, 400 million smartphones. India has a unique, verifiable digital identity in the shape of Aadhaar. 1.20 billion Indians today are having verifiable digital identity. 500 million internet penetration. And most important, the third biggest startup movement in the world. We are creating digital infrastructure by linking 250,000 cluster of villages by optical fiber. We have unleashed a big movement of common service center digital kiosks where 1 million boys and girls give digital delivery of services all over the country. We have set up BPOs in far-flung areas of India to bring in digital inclusion. And above all, we are going to make 60 million Indians digitally literate in the coming 3 years, out of which 10 millions have already been made digitally literate. All these are basically designed for what? Digital inclusion. In our very considered view, digital empowerment will not be complete unless it is one with digital inclusion. We're also pushing e-hospital, e-scholarship, digital platform to enable farmers to sell their products, and a whole range of other people-friendly digital services to empower ordinary Indians. India today is becoming an acknowledged digital market, and we are pushing India's digital economy to $1 trillion in the coming 5 to 7 years. And India has all the potential to become one. I hardly need to tell all of you, India has the biggest footprint of, in many ways, Google movement, Facebook, Twitter, and a whole range of other digital platforms which are available. Because India is also a rising digital market. Since I handle electronics also, just one figure will give you how India is changing. When we had come to power, there were only 2 mobile manufacturing factories in India. Now we have got 118 mobile manufacturing factories in India. We are making mobile phone in big number. All the international brands are here. Make in India for India are also export outside in the neighboring countries, in the Middle East, in the ASEAN countries. That's how we are promoting our whole case. But most important, digital inclusion, for which right of access is important. Therefore, without going into the nitty-gritty of net neutrality, we have taken a clear, categorical position that right of access is not negotiable. That's how we are seeking to change the entire country. With this digital profile, new technology is coming, from artificial intelligence to blockchain to IoT to a whole range of other platforms. and we want to tap all. I'm very happy in this interaction. Artificial intelligence is occupying a very key space, and I wish to congratulate NASSCOM for coming with a very good platform of reskilling of young people, in which my department in the IT ministry is going to give a lot of support and assistance, because it is a teamwork between the government and the private sector, including leaders and organizations like NASSCOM. I think I need to flag 3-4 concerns and also opportunity. India's story, digital story, is a profound story of engagement between the government and the people of India. By giving them digital platform, we have not only empowered them, not only given them services, but a new sense of self-confidence and assurance, as I outlined just now. Artificial intelligence must work in a manner that this engagement continues. Artificial intelligence must create ecosystem whereby issues like food security, issues like healthcare, issues like digital delivery of services all have a new meaning. That's very important. The second issue which I have to flag on this whole gamut of new technology is the issue of, I would say, reskilling. There is a fear that new technologies would displace jobs. Maybe right, maybe wrong, I don't know. But for those who are the doomsayers, I have only one observation to make. When computer came in India, there was a lot of opposition. Computer will kill jobs. But computer became the biggest enabler of job creation. Any technology, if it displaces 10 jobs, surely create 100 jobs. That is what technology is about. And we have to ensure that reskilling is done in a very, very meaningful manner. Particularly in healthcare, in cybersecurity, in food security, in education, quality education, in weather management, which are important for India, these new technologies can play a very crucial role. The second issue which I have to flag is, these technologies would take time to adjust. And adjustment would entail transition. The government, NASSCOM, private sector, academia, and industry have to play a very crucial role to ensure that the stakeholders are not made very uncomfortable in this process of transition. That is the extra care which we have to take, because once the power of new technology is recognized, surely it will have a very smooth sailing. But the transition period must be handled well. The third issue which I have to flag is ethical issue. New technology will bring in new challenges, would also create new opportunities. Suppose there is a driverless car powered by new technology, and to save a person trying to cross the road in a hurried manner, he causes an accident. Who will be responsible? What shall be the nature of responsibility? Robotics, new technologies work well, but ultimately someone will have to guide him. I think this is an area, ethical and regulatory, which is required to be worked on in a very, very meaningful manner. Lastly, a little more word on this whole idea of reskilling. If we are able to create a big, effective, and substantial initiative for reskilling, much of the consequences can be addressed in the pace of acquisition of new technology. I always say Indians love technology, because I always give example of India because now India's story is finding resonance world over, in the developing world too. They too want Aadhaar. Just to give you one example, how digital governance is bringing in good governance. We opened up 300 million bank accounts of the poor who had no access to the bank. We linked that to the Aadhaar, a verifiable digital identity kept in safe and secure conditions, all homegrown, low cost, seeded to the mobile. They started sending welfare measures to the people of India, directly to the bank account. And we saved close to $9 billion, 57,000 crores, which used to be pocketed by middlemen and fictitious claimants. Digital governance is good governance. The way WhatsApp movement is picking up so fast in India. And the most telling example is that of my servant in Delhi. He's sharp, intelligent. My wife and myself tried our best to make him study, but he never. One day I found to my amazement that he was sending WhatsApp messages to his wife in Bihar, in his village. I'm like, what are you doing? Kaha, sir, I'm also on Facebook. I talk to my wife on Facebook also. That is the power of technology. How ordinary Indians are being empowered. I wish, I hope, I'm sure these new technologies are going to further empower ordinary Indians. And in many ways, the story of India will be replicated in many parts of the world. My compliments to NASSCOM for coming with a new skill center. We are going to partner in a very meaningful way to further reskill millions of young Indians in new technologies. I just had a big meeting in Delhi on the issue of artificial intelligence. The stakeholders were there, NASSCOM was there, Devyani and the Chandrasekhar were there. And I have set up 4 groups to identify basically Committee on Platforms and Data for AI, Committee on Leveraging AI for Identifying National Missions in Key Sectors, Committee on Mapping Technological Capabilities, Key Policy Enabler Required Across Sectors, and Committee on Cyber Security, Safety, Legal and Ethical Issues. My last take, ladies and gentlemen, is the issue of cyber security. Cyber platform must be safe and secure. And we have a collective responsibility to ensure that cyber security remains the center of our initiative. I'm sure in the coming 2 to 3 days, which we are going to debate and interact, we will have some good models and suggestions as to how to reinforce the whole architecture of cyber security. As our Prime Minister has once said, cyber war is the bloodless war. And therefore, we have to ensure that our cyber walls are safe and secure. My greetings, enjoy your stay, interact, and also see the diversity of India. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, mind-boggling numbers and far-reaching outcomes, the story of digital India. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that really inspiring opening note. You do us great honor by joining us. May I invite Mr. R. Chandrasekhar, President NASSCOM, on stage to take over the next segment and the proceedings.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and honor to shortly welcome the Prime Minister of India, who will be joining us remotely. He is traveling at the moment, far away from Delhi. But it's a measure of his commitment that he is joining us at this event via video link in a few moments. We heard from the Minister about the new technologies, what the government intends to do, what opportunities they create. But for taking advantage of those opportunities, the key is to have the skills. And that's why NASSCOM, with all the industry members, identified 8 technology areas which are going to be the drivers of the future. And in addition to cybersecurity, on which we were already working, identified 55 job roles and the skills required. And the platform that the Honorable Minister just referred to is a platform that enables employees and people who aspire to work in this sector to acquire the requisite skills in all these new technologies like artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, machine learning, augmented reality and virtual reality, and so on. In all of these areas, we expect about 2 million existing employees and more than 2 million aspirants to take advantage of this platform, which will be available in India and globally. Before requesting the Honorable Prime Minister to inaugurate this conference and to deliver his inaugural address, I would first invite the Honorable Prime Minister of India to launch the skills platform. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Sir, it is my honor to welcome you to the inaugural of the World Congress on IT and NILF, and to request you at the outset to launch a skills platform, Future Skills, which NASSCOM and the industry have created and which the government is supporting, aimed at initially skilling 2 million employees and 2 million youth, something that you have been emphasizing. You are the driver and the leader of digital revolution in India, and it's my honor to request you to kindly launch the skills platform.
स्किल मैन पावर का एक बहुत बड़ा मार्केट पड़ा हुआ है। ऐसे मार्केट को टैप करने की ताकत जिसके पास मैक्सिमम यूथ है उसके पास है।
Thank you very much, sir, for launching this platform. May I now request you to kindly inaugurate the World Congress on IT and deliver the inaugural address. Sir.
Thank you. Union Minister of IT, Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad, Chief Minister, Government of Telangana, Sri K. Chandrasekhar Rao, Chairman NASSCOM, Secretary General Bitsa, other distinguished dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to inaugurate the World Congress on Information Technology. This event is being held in India for the first time. It has been organized in partnership with NASSCOM, WCIT, and the government of Telangana. I'm sure it shall be of a mutual benefit to investors, innovators, think tanks, and other stakeholders from across the world. I would have liked to be there in person. I'm happy, however, that the power of IT enables me to address you remotely. To all the delegates joining us from abroad, welcome to India. Welcome to Hyderabad. On the sidelines of this conference, I hope you shall have some time to explore the vibrant history and delectable cuisine of Hyderabad. I'm sure it shall encourage you to visit other parts of India as well. Indeed, India is home to ancient, rich and diverse cultures through which runs an underlying theme of unity. Ladies and gentlemen, the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is the family, is deeply imbibed in Indian philosophy. It reflects our inclusive traditions. In the 21st century, technology is becoming an enabler for this concept. It helps us create a seamless integrated world, a world where geographic distance no longer remains a barrier in collaborating for a better future. Today, India is the hotspot of digital innovation across all the sectors. We not only have a growing number of innovative entrepreneurs, but also a growing market for tech innovation. We were and we remain one of the most tech-friendly population in the world. With over 1 lakh villages linked with optical fiber, 131 crore mobile phones, 120 crore Aadhaar, and 50 crore internet users, India is best placed to leverage the power of technology and leapfrog into the future, while ensuring empowerment of every citizen. Digital India is a journey bringing about digital inclusion for digital empowerment, aided by digital infrastructure for digital delivery of services. Leveraging technology in such a holistic manner was unthinkable some years ago. We have successfully completed this life cycle in last 3.5 years. This has been possible through a change in public behavior and processes. Digital India had not remained merely a government initiative, but has become a way of life. Technology has transcended PowerPoint presentations and has become an inseparable part of people's life. While most government initiatives depend on a government push, Digital India is succeeding because of the people's pull. The Jam Trinity of combining 320 million Jan Dhan bank accounts of poor with Aadhaar and mobile with direct benefits of welfare measures has saved rupees 57,000 crores. Around 22 million digital hospital transactions across 172 hospitals in India are bringing comfort in the lives of patients. The National Scholarship Portal for Easy Scholarships today had 14 million students registered on it. ENAM, an online agriculture market offering the best prices to the farmers, has 6.6 million farmers registered and 470 agriculture markets connected. Digital payments through BHIM UPI has registered transactions of rupees 15,000 crore in January 2018. The unique Umang app, launched only 3 months back, is already offering 185 government services. Today, 2.8 lakh common service centers are there in different parts of the country, giving many digital services to people. About 10 lakh people work in these centers, including thousands of women entrepreneurs. In order to leverage the skills and talent of our youth, BPOs have started operating from places like Kohima and Imphal in northeast India to areas of Jammu and Kashmir. 86 units across 27 states and union territories have already become operational, and many more are like to come up soon. To ensure digital literacy in every household, we have initiated a Pradhan Mantri Rural Digital Literacy Mission to make 60 million adults digitally literate in rural India. Under this, 10 million people have already been trained. We have come a long way with the convergence of Make in India and Digital India. From only 2 mobile manufacturing units, only 2 in India in 2014, today there are 118 units operational in India, including some of the best global brands. Government e-marketplace has been developed at the National Procurement Portal of India. It enables small and medium enterprises to compete in meeting the procurement requirement of the government. This simple IT framework has improved transparency in government procurement. It has also speeded up procurement processes and empowered thousands of small and medium enterprises. Yesterday, at Mumbai University, I had the opportunity to dedicate to the nation the Vadvani Institute for Artificial Intelligence. This is an independent, non-profit research institute with a mission of artificial intelligence for social good. A few days ago, in Dubai, at the World Government Summit, I had the opportunity to visit an exhibition on the Museum of the Future. This has been planned as an incubator for idea and a driver for innovation. I appreciate the pioneers of technology, some of whom are in the audience today, for the work they are doing. They are helping to secure better, more comfortable future for humanity. We stand today at the cusp of the fourth industrial revolution. Technology, if used well for public good, can deliver lasting prosperity to mankind and sustainable future for our planet. It is in this context that I place the World Conference on Information Technology in India today. The key themes at this conference reflects the opportunities that await us. Disruptive technologies such as blockchain and the Internet of Things will have a deep impact in the way we live and work. They will require rapid adaptation in our workplaces. Skilling citizens for the workplace of the future is important. In India, we have launched the National Skill Development Mission to prepare our children and youth for a bright future. We also need to ensure that our existing workforce is able to reskill as new technologies emerge. One of the invited speakers at this event, the robot Sophia, shows the potential of new technologies. We need to reflect on the changing nature of jobs in the emerging age of intelligent automation. I compliment NASSCOM for developing the Skills of the Future platform. I am told NASSCOM has identified 8 important technologies. They include artificial intelligence, virtual reality, robotic process automation, Internet of Things, big data analytics, 3D printing, cloud computing, social and mobile. NASSCOM has also identified 55 job roles that are going to be in high demand globally. I'm sure the skills of future platform will greatly help India maintain its competitive edge. Digital technology is now at the heart of every business. New technologies must be embedded in various operations and processes of a business entity. How can we prepare our millions of small and medium businesses for this transformation in a short time? Keeping in mind the importance of innovation in the future of economy and business, the Government of India had launched the Startup India initiative. We believe our startups are the key to finding viable and economical solutions across sectors and verticals. Under the Atal Innovation Mission, we are building Atal Tinkering Labs in schools across India. The objective of this scheme is to foster curiosity, creativity, and imagination in young. Ladies and gentlemen, and as you deliberate on various themes of information technology, you shall keep the interests of the common man at the back of your mind. I once again welcome the distinguished delegates from across the world to India. May your deliberations be productive. May the outcomes benefit the poor and the underprivileged world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your address, for inaugurating this conference. May I request you, ladies and gentlemen, to give a standing ovation to the Prime Minister of India. Thank you, sir, for sharing your expansive vision for what technology can do for the country and for the government, by the government. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude this inaugural session, let me also convey our sincere appreciation of the Honorable Minister for IT, Shri Ravi Shankar Prasad ji. Thank you very much, sir, for being here with us today, for addressing this audience, and also for the support that you have shared and conveyed for the skills platform and all the initiatives that you referred to, which were launched under your leadership within the department. I do want to thank all the other participants and speakers in the inaugural session, all our distinguished visitors from overseas, the chairperson, the Secretary General of WITSA, the ministers from various countries who have joined us and who will also be participating in a round table with the IT Minister. I would like to welcome the IT Secretary, Dr. Ajay Sahni, and all the members of NASSCOM, distinguished delegates from Hyderabad, from the rest of India, from all over the world, and all the foreign delegations. Welcome and wish you a wonderful conference and a tremendous experience over the next 3 days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RC. What a heavy-weighted inaugural session, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we have a quick video because at NASSCOM, we like to announce our breaks also with videos. Can we have the video, please?
ist wie ein Schneeflöckchen, bleib mir treu fürs Leben. Edelweiß, Edelweiß, Leid der Heimat ergehen.
Ladies and gentlemen, quick break. See you back in the hall at 11:40. We have an intense day ahead. Make sure you catch up with your chai and get back in here. Also remember, WCIT NILF is about shared bonhomie, so catch up with old friends, say hello to everybody, and we'll see you back at 11:40. Thank you so much.